Taking a look at the FX markets today, I want to focus on the euro as we close out the week. The euro under some pressure today. We're seeing most of the majors under some pressure. The dollar regaining a little bit of footing here, reversing the short-term trend. And when you look at the euro, we're seeing a euro retrace about 50% from the high, which was 1.1124. Just a couple days ago. So we're seeing some selling pressure today, coupled with the fact that we're seeing some shifting in the dynamics within the data structure. And I want to point out certainly one thing right off the top today. We had the U.S. Employment report this morning, much stronger than anticipated. And after that report came out, we saw quite a shift in the expectations and the pricing structure, not only within the equity markets, but also within the currency markets. And I can tell you, when you couple that with the disappointing news coming out overnight, when you look at the German industrial production number, weaker than expected, EU retail sales weaker than expected, stronger job growth here in the United States, all three of those things really created an environment today that was very difficult for the euro to contend with, and that's why we saw, I think, that selling pressure continue throughout most of the day. Looking at some of the items that the euro is going to have to contend with moving into next week, I want to point out the Fed meeting next week is going to be one thing for sure. We have a Fed decision on Wednesday with a press conference. The expectations are of the Fed to stand pat, but nonetheless, they'll have a narrative that will come out of that meeting, and that could impact the euro as well as the other major currencies. We also have Brexit vote on Thursday. Again, that's a dynamic that the market's going to have to contend with. It looks like the Conservative Party is going to probably move forward there, maybe get the majority necessary to get something initiated in the Brexit. The market seems to be anticipating that, as we've seen the British pound benefit from that. But ultimately, you know, there's still that vote out there next week that the market's going to be very focused on. And then the final thing is the deadline for the trade situation. The trade situation, once again, today had a very positive theme, and I think that's another reason why we saw the U.S. dollar bouncing back a little bit today. But ultimately, you know, those are the items next week, I think, that will drive the pricing structure within the currency markets. And considering the fact that we're seeing the euro now pushing back down to the low end of the range after trying to get out from underneath that earlier this week, we're seeing that reversal continue. And that's something that you got to keep a close eye on next week as well. If we continue to see some further weakness, we are pushing back down to the very low end of the range where you look at that 1.10 level.